This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at GreenRiver 22. But before that, this video is brought to you by Dozer and Jay. Thank you for being farm barons. So the GreenRiver map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. GreenRiver is back. I have to say that this map I know has been available in FS17, FS19, and now in FS22. If it was available back in FS15, I really do not know because, well, I didn't get involved in a farm sim until Farm Sim 17. Let's read a little bit of the description. Welcome to the GreenRiver 22. Due to the success of GreenRiver map in FS17, all thanks to you, Bart has decided to bring this map back for Farm Sim 22. Well, thank you, Bart. In the GreenRiver map, you can decide what you want to do. There are more than 160 acres of fields. You can take care of the animals, be an agricultural farmer, or you can go out to the forestry part of the map. Field missions, it's all up to you. All right, well, that's good to know. Let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. Now, if you happen to want to load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find that the farms are completely barren of buildings, but we do have our starting machinery. You notice I said starting farms. That is because this map has two distinct farms that we both own at the start. Then we also have a pig area that we can sell also. So everything can be sold on all of the farms with the exception of these gates. It's kind of interesting. In new farmer mode, I can sell everything but these two sliding gates at this farm, as well as a sliding gate and a fence at the pig area. Now, if I happen to load this up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, the gates are not there. So if you think you are going to want to sell something, redesign the farm area here, it may be in your best interest to start in Farm Manager mode. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. There we go. Welcome to GreenRiver 22. We do have all the standard crop types available to us here in Farm Sim 22 available on the map. But if we take a look at the lands, you will see that we start out by owning an interesting chunk of land. We've got our farm down here, which is where we start at. This is our career start point when we load up a brand new save. Yet we have all of our machinery located up here by field 22. The pig area is located right there. And then we have a biogas plant located right here. Then we've also owned this little chunk of forestry over here on the west. So the career start point is 11.6 acres, $567,000. Where our starting machinery is located, it is $204,000 at 8.41 acres. You also start out by owning field 27, which is 22.27 acres at $540,000. And then we have a forestry area here, which is $97,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. And our farmland lease screen is what we use in order to take a look and see all of the available farmlands, how big those farmlands are, if those farmlands include fields, what fields they include, and then ultimately how much the farmland is going to cost us. Now, overall, it looks like our farmlands and our field numbers kind of start out in sync, but it does look that they do kind of get out of sync as we get a little bit further down the starting list. Overall, I think the farmlands are fairly expensive on this map. I mean, we've got a 6-hectare farmland here, $400,000. We've got a 4.15 hectare area of farmland, $124,000. Land feels like it's kind of expensive here on GreenRiver. Let's go ahead and take a look at our field calculator screen, and we use this screen to identify the exact size of the specific fields themselves. Then we'll have to cross-reference the field numbers with the farmland numbers in order to ultimately see how much the plot of land that a particular field holds is going to cost. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how the precision farming soil map is applied to these fields. We are looking at the generic soil map that is part of the precision farming mod. You can see that we've got a big hunk of loamy sand and sandy loam here to the middle. And then across the outside edges of the map, the north, western, and southern extremities of the map, we have a decent combination of silty clay and loam. If you take a look at our crop counter, we do have the standard base game crop counter available to us here in Farm Sim 22. And if we look at our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell each and every crop that we could possibly grow on this map, which is always a good detail to see. We also have sell points for eggs, wool, and milk. We do have sell points for silage, hay, straw, and grass. And then as we move down and take a look through all of the production areas, we do indeed also have the ability to sell each and every production that is possible with respect to the base game. Now, as we look here, we do have bulk lime buy points. And we also do indeed have a stone crusher, so we can get rid of our stones if we play with stones enabled. And if you are using the pumps and hoses DLC, we can sell our separated manure over at the livestock market. Take a look at our vehicle overview. You can see all of our vehicles that we own are fully owned, well maintained with no hours at the start. We do own a sheep barn, a cow barn with feeding robot, a chicken coop at the start. While we do not own the actual pigsty, it is coded such that we can go ahead and make use of that, even though we do not own the land, and we can also sell that pigsty as well. We do have contracts available. We do not own any production chains at the start, and this map does have 20 collectibles. In fact, they are the 20 Holt Bay of the Rune collectibles, one of which is right here at our farmhouse. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with the Steyr 8150 small tractor, the medium Valtra 8750, and Massey Ferguson 367 tractors. We've got the Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H header, and of course the classic 4090H header trailer. We have ourselves a 2017 pickup truck, the Welger DK115 trailer, the Rabe EG39 cultivator, and then of course our Nordstein HK 2530NS cedar. Then we round it all out with a pair of 750 kilogram front weights. Now, if we take a look at our mods and DLC section, you do see that there are no listings here for the map itself, which means that we do not have any custom modded vehicles or implements. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a farm tour of our career start point area. We will go ahead and take a look at our other starting farm as we get around to the fly around. So we've got our farmhouse sleep trigger located right here at the front door. If we want to change our outfit, well, we just come over here to the clothesline and well, get access to our unmentionables. If we do sell the farmhouse, all of these decorative bits also are going to go away, again, with exception of this sliding gate. There are two sliding gates actually at this location that do not vanish. We've got some machine storage. And this particular farm is completely empty of machinery. All of our machinery is over at the other starting location. Got our sheds. Then we have our feeding robot, and this is, of course, the standard base game feeding robot cow pen. So I don't think we need to go into too many details as to where exactly all of the triggers are. What is this doing here? Who has went and brought a grocery cart? Put it on my farm. Come on, people. I could push my cart around. Look at it. Let's go shopping, everybody. Let's go shopping. All right, enough of that. Let's just stash this before the grocery store comes looking for their stuff. Of course, we have our feeding robot bays there. We have our manure heap for our cows. Fuel storage. We have a water trigger. This barn is set up to hold 80 cattle. Then we have our milk trigger. We have a pair of 3-sided silage bunkers. And then we have a sheep area. Again, it's a base game sheep area, so we have our wool point, our feed point, and then our sheep drop-off point. 65 sheep in this facility. We have a wash bay with a power washer. A second sliding gate, and again, this gate also cannot be sold in new farmer mode, but in farm manager mode, the sliding gate is not there. And that is kind of the career start area. Let's go ahead and take a look at our build mode. So we can see in build mode that we have no custom sheds, no custom silos. I'm sorry, we do have a custom silo. This silo is going to hold 9 million liters. So that is a far cry from the base game silo, which is right here, which is only 400,000 liters. Nothing under custom silo extensions. Containers are all base game, as well as tools and farmhouses. No custom production. Sell points, greenhouses, orchards, or generators. Under our animal pen, we do have the feeding robot, but I believe this is pretty much the same as this feeding robot. Yep, 80 cows in total. No other custom animal areas. As far as decorative elements, they are all standard base game decorative elements. And if we take a look at our textures, once again, we have our normal standard FS22 textures, trees, and paintable plants. With that, let's go ahead and get set up for our fly around. We're going to fly around the map and take a look at all of the various points of interest, including the other starting farm, which is where our machinery is all located. And then we're going to come around to the vehicle shop where we're going to get into our Mahindra and do a drive around. Go ahead and get some altitude. Now, anyone that has played on GreenRiver knows that this is a flat map through and through. If you're looking for a map that has some nice rolling hills on the fields, this is not going to be the map of choice. But it does mean that you will have a fairly easy time driving around the map. And you will likely be able to kind of underpower your machinery as a result. So we're going to be coming back to our vehicle shop, which is located right here. Right next to the vehicle shop, we have our sawmill. And speaking of production, this map has 8 production facilities built in. We have the sawmill, a spinnery, a grain mill, bakery, dairy, grape processing center, the BGA, and a carpentry facility. So we are going to go ahead and give the map a full point with respect to having production built in. In addition, we're going to give the map a full point with respect to having the ability to sell all of the base game crops, products, and animal outputs. Now here we are coming up to our other starting farm location. This is where we're going to find our modded silo. Right below here. Then we have a second farmhouse with another collectible and clothesline where we have our wardrobe trigger. We have a chicken coop located right here. Standard base game chicken coop. We have a base game hayloft as well. A contractor building where we're going to find all of our starting machinery. Located inside there. And then we've got some pretty large sheds also here at this particular area. So this is owned at the start, as well as the farm that we looked at just over there. We have our biomass heating plant. Our grape processing facility. We're going to circle back, and our pig area, the pig area that we do not own but we do have full access to, is going to be located right here. Standard FS22 pig area. Now this area, we can sell the pig area without owning the land, but we cannot sell the fencing, at least without owning the land. I didn't try to buy the land to see if we can sell the fencing. Let's go ahead and see if that is an option. So we cannot get rid of the fencing even if we own the land. So we now know that little bit of information, and I just want to show you this because, well, it's a fun little thing that I found. That this building is not really there. We're missing the collisions on that building. For whatever reason, the mill does not have any collisions. We have our BGA here. This is the Elm Creek BGA. So we have two digesters. We have our interactive trigger. We have our dump point for our slurry. And then we have our fill pipe around the side for our digestate. We have 1, 2, 3 large three-sided silage bunkers at this particular BGA facility. We also have a bulk lime buy point located right there. Within the town area, we have a bakery located right here. Our dairy is located, or sorry, our cheese shop is located right there. And that is basically the aerial tour. There's a little bit more stuff over here. We've got our spinnery. We have our fuel point. And then way off in the distance, we have a grain sell point. But we're just going to go ahead and take a look at that during the drive around. Let's make our way back over here to the vehicle shop, where we are going to go ahead and get our Mahindra and then do the typical drive around. Now, we will notice that the vehicle shop here appears to cater to a very specific type of machine. That is the John Deere Utility Gator. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, when you need to have your Gator serviced, because we all know it's going to need serviced, we're going to have to come over here to the side. We have our dealer maintenance trigger located right here. Customized paint, sell, trade, and repair. And then inside we have our dealer shop. There we go. And somebody keeps leaving these darn game cartridges everywhere. What on earth is going on? So we do have a fairly large area here for our machinery to spawn in at, so we shouldn't have too much difficult buying a fair amount of machinery if we want to pretty much sell all of the starting machinery and then buy our fleet kind of all at once. We do have a fairly large area for our vehicles to spawn in at. We have a decent area here for our vehicles also to exit the dealership premises, although we may find that it's a little bit difficult in driving around the road here because we do have things kind of close to the road edge that do have collisions. Let's go ahead and make the map rather large so we can see where we're going. We're going to go straight to the right and hit up our sawmill. Now we are going to give the map a full point with respect to the farms being customizable. I'm not going to necessarily take off any points because the sliding gates can't be sold. It would be nice if we could see those be sold in new farmer mode, but the fact that if we don't want those, we can simply fire the map up in Farm Manager and have a completely blank slate at both farm areas. I'm going to let the sliding gates slide, if you will, with respect to the scoring. So here we have our sawmill. We have our dump point for our logs. We have our wood cell trigger. We have our plank spawn point. We have our wood chip pickup point and our interactive trigger right there. I want to go ahead and double back this way. We'll jump in the cab and do a little in-cab perspective. Like I said during the fly around, this is a flat map. Is it flat as a board? Probably. Other than the recesses that are making the waterways. So if you are into that type of thing, good deal. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and cover the eastern side of the map, and then we'll cut across one of the bridge areas, and then cover the center and western side of the map. So we're coming up here to our second starting farm. This is the farm that has our starting equipment. We have our farm silo. We have 2 gates to get in and out of the farm silo. We have a sliding gate to get in and out of secondary farm area. Our carpentry facility is right here on the right. It's just standard base game carpentry facility. So we have our interactive icon at the double doors, our dump station, our wood sell point, and then our spawn point for our furniture. And the sawmill is conveniently located next to a kind of a small forested area. We have our biomass heating plant, which again is conveniently located next to a small forested area. So this is where we're going to come and sell wood chips or logs as well. So we have our wood cell trigger and our dump point. And we're going to double back to our pigs, but instead we're going to come over here to our grape processing facility. This is obviously a European-based map. You haven't picked up on that based on the traffic. We have our spawn point, we have our interactive trigger, we have our dump station. As you can see, the roads do have kind of close things with collisions, like light poles. So again, you want to be a little careful when you come through here with wide machinery, or you try to buy wide machinery at the shop. Do note that you got things close to the roads that you're going to have to avoid. Always surprises me how many folks try to play with machinery that is really just not well sized for the particular map that they're on. So here we have the pig area. We went ahead and bought this land because we were trying to see if we could sell the gate or not, but we do not need to own the land in order to buy pigs here. 270 pigs in this particular facility. We have our food trough trigger over there. And of course, our slurry point over here. Their way across the river. There's, I believe, 4 or 5 river crossings in order to kind of make your way from one side of the map to another. We have our biogas plant to our right. Now, with respect to buildings using the new texturing technique, we are going to give the map a full point here. We do have buildings that are indeed using the new texture technique. If they are not FS22 base game buildings from either Elm Creek, Erlengrot, or Holt by the Rune, they are using the new technique. Like some of these houses that are behind us here are using the new windowing technique, as well as if you get up close, you can tell that the brickwork has the new parallax occlusion going on. So we have our bulk line by point, one of the multiple bulk line by points that are on the map. Decent size machinery shed available for BGA players. We have our dump point for our slurry. Our twin digesters, so we're going to be able to put a whole lot of silage through this plant, our interactive icon. And then 3 massive silage bunkers. Again, I think you're going to be able to have a pretty big silage run on this map, given the size of the fields that are in fairly close proximity to the BGA. And we have our digestate trigger. We have the bakery production point. We have our pallet spawn point to the left, our dump station to the right, our interactive trigger also at the back door. Across the street from that, we have our cheese shop. Now, the cheese shop has some interesting trigger locations. We have our interactive icon here at the side door. We have our dump station over on this side at this roll door. And then we have our pallet spawn point around the back, here beside this roll door. So I kind of like how we have, those triggers kind of spread out. Over here we have Field 13, which is a fairly large grass area right by the BGA. We've got a bit of forestry right there in the middle of that grass area. But what really interests me is this buildable area right across from Field 14. So we not only have 8 production facilities built into the map, we've got a little bit of a buildable area here that we could buy and put down additional placeables. Or if we were playing maybe this map in a multiplayer, we have kind of 2 farm areas, one to the south of Field 27, one just to the west of Field 22, both in new farmer mode that we own at the start. But then we also could have someone working the BGA as that facility, and then this buyable plot of land, which is tied to Field 13 for $573,000. Lots of roads on the map here, kind of weaving and winding around. Lots of ways to get places. Kind of like when we have that, we have lots of choices on how we want to navigate and get around. It also means that we really don't have a hard time getting from one place to another. Not a whole lot of backtracking is going to be needed because there's so many different ways to get to the same location. Here we have the farmers market a la Holtbetheroon. So we have our dump station for our farmers market, and then we have our pallet sell point for the farmers market. We have one of our start farms over there. Our career start area is located right here. So we're kind of doubling back now. Our sheep area. We have a fuel station over here to the right. And then we have a spinnery, the Holtbetheroon spinnery, over here to the left. So we have our dump point for our cotton and wool, our interactive area, and then we have our pallet spawn point for our fabric. I'm very curious how many of you are going to look at playing this map in FS22. How many of you played this map in Farm Sim 19? And like I said, I am nearly 100% confident that GreenRiver was available also in FS17. Pretty sure if you search it, YouTube will probably turn up all 3 of my map video tours. That is how prevalent this map seems to have been. So over here we have our bakery. Sorry, a flour mill. We have our flour mill, so we have our dump station. Our interactive icon there at the door. Then our pallet spawn point. We have our animal dealer. So we have another lime buy point. Located right there. Our stone crusher is hidden here behind the animal dealer. So if you're looking for the stone crusher, where is the elusive stone crusher? It's behind the animal dealer. Wonder what else they might run through there. Maybe I don't want to think about it. We have our animal dealer bale sell point. It's also where we're going to sell that separated manure for pumps and hoses. And then we have our animal trigger right here. Now, as we are going to the final location on our map core, let's rehash the scoring. We give the map a full point with respect to production. We have 8 built-in facilities for production built on the map, and we have that placeable area over by field 14 and 13. Full point there. We're going to give the map a full point with respect to being able to sell all the base game crops, products, and animal outputs. We're going to give the map a full point as well. Once again, for the farms being customizable, we're not going to deduct a little bit of points because the sliding gates at the start farm, the career start location, are not sellable in new farmer mode. I think that's being maybe a little petty to do that. Buildings are indeed using the new texturing technique, so a big full point there. And overall, yes, I believe that the map has clearly marked interactive triggers for sell points and other such areas. So that's right, we're going to give the map yet another full point there, and those keeping track at home know that this map has now obtained the elusive 5 out of 5. It is hitting in on all points of our scoring metric. Back there you saw the 3rd lime buy point that is on this map. So guys, let me know down in the comments below, what do you all think of GreenRiver 22? Does it live up to GreenRiver 19's standards? Or maybe GreenRiver 17? Did it even have a number back then? I don't know. Go back and look. Tell me. Let me know. Go back and watch all 3 map videos. FS 17, 19, and this one all over again. And let me know which one of the 3 do you prefer. And until next time, happy farming.